go deep down into yourself and to discover that point, ladies and gentlemen, that girl and that woman and that mother turned into something completely different because she finally was able to find what she was really searching for, which was happiness all the time and continued happiness all the time. And this continuity proved to last for a long time. And through that, the experience of that led her to the true realization of letting go of everything. And then she turned into the Vimukta Therani, which you're actually looking at. So I would like to talk to you actually about my life, which you have just heard. But more so, I would like to talk to you about, maybe share my experience in this content, which is, what do we really want from life? Do we ever ask that question? Do we ever want to seek the answers to begin with? Or are we just leading a life from morning to evening, and again from morning to evening, and again from morning to evening, and again from morning to evening? Are we really searching for the purpose of life? Or are we continuing in a wavelength that would just pass us by even in this lifetime? So this is the thing which made me think, even from a very young age, that I was actually searching for something. And when I discovered that I was searching for something, I understood that I was not just searching for something. I was wanting everything that a human being could want and have and hold too. And that made me search all over again, because I was never content with what I had. As a child, having the basics or having more of the basics doesn't make any sense if you want even more. And as a young lady because at one point you would know that you're actually grabbing more and more, wanting more and more, expecting, because that thought as a way to analyze something completely different. That is called a universal truth, because every life form goes through the exact same circle. Every single time we go through the exact same circle, because we might want one thing at one point in our life, and our wants and needs changes according to our age as well. And when this change happens, then we want even more things, and then we want even more things on the teenage section of this. We want completely different things. And when we get to our 20s, we want something completely different, but still we want. And then we get to the age of 30s, and our aspirations have become more, our expectations have become more, larger. And then we want more, and we search for more. Then we pass through the 30s, and then we go into 40s. And then we want a different set of things altogether. And then we are still searching. And maybe at 50 and 60 and 70, we are still searching. And one thing I didn't want to do is to wake up in the morning when I'm 70, 80, whatever years after, and still be searching for something that I didn't have. So that's why in an early stage I wanted to discover what I was. I actually first wanted to know what I was searching, but that led me to understand it's not only the search, I'm wanting more and more. And I understood the difference between needs and wants, because always we get confused with these two. What we need in life is something very basic. But what we want and wish to have is something completely different. And when we get these two things mixed up, we are stressed up. So that brings a lot of stress to life because we don't understand or fully understand the complete meanings of wants and needs. What you might need to have in life is something completely different from what you want and wish to have in life, because this wishes always keeps increasing and increasing and increasing. And one part of it you would have achieved, and then another part of it you wouldn't have achieved. But then again you're searching. But are we really wanting to know, discover why we are here in the first place? What makes this life so special? What brings us to the point of knowing ourselves and what we really want and need? And then growing further from there on, just stop and breathe for a second. Because we always forget to breathe in our rat race of building things. I was given many designations. From one designation, I accomplished another designation. At that time, my friends, I thought, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. Because I was almost paid 2 salaries for doing 2 jobs. But in the end, I discovered it also eats up twice the amount of time that I actually had. So then the designation and the recognition that I got out of that seemed very dim after a point of life. And then I started to wonder what I really want from life. That's because the first things that I started meditating on was because of a teacher who was teaching us dancing, a very traditional method of dancing called Kandyan dancing in Sri Lanka. And because we needed to remember I was working, because I was pushed into this situation where I was working for a multinational company, and suddenly they tell me that there is this hierarchy boss which is going to come down to Sri Lanka, and I had to be on stage in front of about 1,500 people translating his speech into Sinhalese. I was like, oh no, how can I do this? And then I was under so much of pressure because I wanted to be my best, of course, and deliver what they expect me to deliver. And that's all well and good, but not the amount of pressure that you put yourself under just to deliver this is an immense amount of pressure. And then suddenly I went back and thought, okay, how did I handle pressure? What ways can I handle pressure? And then suddenly this meditation technique came into my mind. Then I was suddenly meditating in a temple, trying to calm down the pressure a little bit. And it worked. It worked very well on that day. And the next day was actually the presentation, which I haven't even seen. I didn't know what this person was going to come into stage and talk about. But what I did was at 3 o'clock in the morning, I got up and I started meditating. And that calmed me down so much. And when I was on stage with this person, with this hierarchy boss of mine, he spoke so fast. And I was able to translate everything because I was so concentrated at that point. And then they gave me another title, another recognition. You're the best translator in Asia. Great, now that you did one, maybe you can do the rest. So more added pressure with recognition. We see this recognition as a very, very good thing. Yes, in a worldly way it is. But it also builds up a complete different pressure on you. And sometimes you need to come back, step back and wonder where all of these things are headed. Where is it taking you? For what does it take you? Does it take you to your wants and wishes? Or does it take you to your needs and discover yourself? And maybe give yourself a break now and then. Maybe take some time off and give yourself a break just to understand who you really are. And since I was working in this beauty industry, beautification of so many people, I thought, my God, that was great at that time. And then I discovered that maybe making a person more beautiful from within is much more rewarding than making a person very beautiful from outside. Because I was trying to be beautiful from outside, but that actually came down after some time. And I wanted to be a person who had the qualities of beautification rather than being beautiful, nourishing beauty within. And that brought me to another realization, my friends, that I would like to share with you. Because I was always thinking that beauty and things that makes you happy was always outside of the world. It's in the world. And I went through years and years and years until I discovered that this most rewarding happiness is actually something which is built from deep within. And I discovered that if you can concentrate on your eyes for a moment and see how much these eyes see things and admire things, which is very good, but how much these eyes long for things, and you get deceived by this beauty of things, and you want more and more and more. The beauty which is outside, which you're trying to take inside from your eyes and hold it to yourself. And when the picture changes outside, you get mad inside. And then I found that different kind of sounds and endure these sounds within ourselves, longing for it over and over and over again. And after some time, that also disappears. And then you long for more of the same attachment to sounds. And the attachment to the fragrances that we consume. Fragrances are very good, but the attachment to fragrances is a complete different story. And I discovered how much you can be attached from your eyes, how much you can be attached with the sound that you hear. I discovered, my friends, how much of these fragrances that we get attached to. And then I discovered how much taste we get attached to, so many different kinds of tastes. And then we get attached to a complete body as well. The touch and the feel of the body. The longingness of companionship and the body. So this also becomes a longing. This also becomes an attachment. And then I discovered all of this is a manifestation in your mind. How you get yourself attached to thoughts and the patterns of thinking. And then, my friends, I discovered that we have so many different subjects in the world. There are subjects called history. There are subjects called science. There are subjects with languages. All these different subjects in the world that we have, teaching us, enriching us with the knowledge of the world, to discover the world, to be in the world, to go forward in the world, to make the world yourself. And then I discovered that there are hardly any trainers. There are so many trainers for all of these other things. If you want professional qualifications, you have it. If you want medium qualifications, that also you have it. If you want your PhDs, that also you have it. But all of these are different subjects which trains you, teaches you, and especially in marketing, which trains us to identify the wishes of people. And then we label it with so many different things. We call it fragrance of this, and the touch of this, the feel of this, to make you feel more beautiful. A line of words. So subjects in different categories, and there are trainers, professionally qualified, given awards, award-winning trainers in all these different subjects. But who is there to train your mind? Who is the best trainer, the teacher, the PhD winner, the award winner? Because all of this is consumed through the mind. And how do you identify that? Because when we feel happy, we see something and feel very happy. We think that it is because something that we see that we are happy, but it's actually because our mind tells us to feel happy. Some incident happened in your life and you feel very excited about it. What does that mean? Is it because of that particular incident, or is it because of your mind telling you that it is very exciting? So I discovered, my friends, that all of the senses that we have, the visions that we have, the sounds that we hear, the smells that we know, the taste that we know, the feel of the body that we know, all of this is combined unit. It's a combined unit in your mind. And who teaches of the ways of the mind? Now, happiness comes only to your mind. Sadness comes only to your mind. Fear, you experience fear within your mind. You experience hatred from your mind. You experience the agitativeness that you have, the anger that you have, the sensitiveness that you have, the love that you have, the forgiveness that you have. All of these feelings, you experience this through your mind. And what are the ways to identify this? I wanted to know more. Finally, my search was coming to some sort of path, some sort of idea, some sort of evidence of what I really wanted. And what I really wanted was just one basic thing, just to feel secure, calm, and happy. That's the only thing that I wanted. And how do I gain this happiness? By being aware of the feelings of the mind. By being aware of what your mind is trying to tell you at that point. First step was being aware of what you really feel at that time. What is your mind trying to tell you? If you're feeling angry, you need to acknowledge, be aware that you are angry. If you feel jealous, the first step is knowing that you're jealous, what your mind is expressing. If you feel fear, just to acknowledge, be aware of the fact of fear. If you feel depressed, just know that you are depressed. The feeling of depressed, accept it and acknowledge it. If you are feeling excited, accept that you're feeling excited and your mind is excited at the moment. Be aware of these emotions is the very first thing of knowing yourself and who you really want to be, or the framework that you're trying to put yourself into. Otherwise, my friends, you just go on with life, building families, building homes, building careers, building worlds. And all of these worlds are just created first in your mind, and then the creation is outside in the world. So if you want to find the ways of the mind, the first thing that you need to do is just be aware of your thoughts. And that is the first meditation practice that anybody could ever teach you. To understand the ways of the mind, be aware of your feelings at that particular point. Here and now. Not only the past is the past. The future is only an unknown future. But here and now, at this time, at this point, what do you feel? How is your mind? What does it tell you? What do you feel? Just taking the deep breaths in and out, we discover the ways of the mind, the awareness of the mind. And friends, this brings you to a stillness. A stillness, it brought me to a stillness that I have never ever experienced in my life before. Everything stands still with the awareness of stillness. So if you're aware of your thoughts, that brings you stillness. You're in a crazy world with your crazy ideas, searching and seeking for more and more of the same happiness that you wanted yesterday, maybe day before, maybe a week back, maybe a year back, maybe 10 years back. You wanted the same basic things, which is happiness. And here we are now, still searching for happiness. And if we continue on this same practice, we are definitely going to go into the future searching and still wanting the same thing, happiness. And why not discover this right now, here and now? Why not we discover the ways of the mind here and now by being aware of the stillness of your mind? And the practice of this will lead you to a better understanding. The better understanding is called vipassana meditation. The vipassana meditation makes you concentrate on different events of your life, analyzing different events, why you made the decisions that you have already made. And has it brought you happiness and peace? Has it made you a calmer person, a better human being to start with, and then going forward from there? So, in this great, vast awareness of life, my friends, finally I discovered the understanding of those words which I first saw, which brought me to this path in the first place, which read again, when you let go of everything, you receive everything. But when you receive everything, you will want nothing. Because finally I was able to understand the ways of the mind, and I was able to let go of everything, of all the wishes and all the wants. And when I let go of that, I actually received so many things. But when I receive all of these things, and when I go back into my concentration, I just want nothing. And I'm completely with this stillness. And the stillness prevails. The stillness prevails from now, from this moment to the next moment. And the stillness prevailed throughout the morning hours. And the stillness prevailed throughout the afternoon hours. And the stillness that I discovered prevailed into the evening hours and the night hours. And then it became a whole new day with this absolute stillness. And then the day became 2 days and weeks. And now it has become years since I discovered the stillness which lies deep within myself. And when I forget about being myself, I have the stillness which just lasts and that is called Nibbana. Teruvansarnai. So I would like if you would have any questions that you would like to ask me, and then after a short question and answer session, we would do a very okay. When you let go of everything, because our minds are so well trained to want from life, always want from life. We do something to gain back. And the highest explanation that I can tell is about love. Now, many of us think, no, I love this person so much, and I'm only here to give love. But the thing is, I love this person so much, and I will give love as long as I receive love. And the moment that receive part suddenly changes in life, then we are on conflict. Now do I want to give so much? Because I don't receive as much. And this battle continues, my friends. So we tell ourselves we are so good at giving, but we expect things back. So the first thing is to try to understand the more we give and the more we expect back, we are in conflict in our mind. Because we can never expect everything from the world. The world does not give us everything. It gives us some things for a time period. It blooms up and it lasts for a time period, and the happiness lasts for a time period, and then it slowly dies down. And we need to understand that whatever you take in life, it will have a rise, it will last for some time, and then it will start declining. So love is the same thing. That happens when we want something back for ourselves. And then there's a conflict between the two. How much do I give to receive this? I'll give you 1 kg of love as long as you give me 1 kg or at least 500 grams of love. Then this imbalance starts to happen. Then we start to compare. Why do I have to do all of these things? And what do I receive back? Then we are in conflict, and our mind is in conflict. And when the mind is in conflict, we start burning within ourselves. So the first quote talks about when you let go of everything, when you don't expect anything, and then you let go of everything, you actually start receiving things. Because that's the way of the universe. When you just keep giving and giving and giving, you automatically start receiving and receiving and receiving. But then, when you do have everything, you wouldn't want any of these material things. Because what you would really want is the stillness of your mind. By that time, you would have understood the stillness that you're trying to search from the world outside does not last in the world outside. That stillness is just a concept which was always in your mind, which was never, it could never be found outside, because it was always within you, inside of you. So that's the meaning of the last two lines, which is, the first one says something like, when you let go of everything, you will receive everything. But when you receive everything, you wouldn't want anything, because you would have already discovered the stillness which lies deep within you. Okay? Yes. Questions, please. Perfect. Everybody has understood everything. Any thoughts you would like to share? Yes.
want, for example, a person that is close to me to be healed. It's because I appreciate that person that's close to me, and also because seeing the person in pain also gives me pain.
Yeah, exactly.
So in a way, I also want something for myself, that I don't want to feel the suffering in me.
Exactly.
But I also don't want the person to suffer.
Yes, we wouldn't want the person to suffer for sure. But when you have understood this message very clearly, because I don't want to see this person suffering, because I am also going through so much of suffering at the same time. Of course, the healing is there. But then I need to understand the conflict that I'm having in my mind is because of what I want from the world. Because this person's illnesses could rise up at one time and it could decline at another time. And there could be medication that could be given to an extent, but everything in life cannot be healed. So that life pattern belongs to that person wholly. Of course, I would do the best that I could do for the person, but I need to understand that I can only control certain amounts of certain things. It's because we are a lot in conflict with ourselves, is because we try to control the world and all of the people we love and appreciate and want to be happy with. But the problem is we can't control all the karmic imbalances that they go through. And because of that reason, I don't want to be unhappy. So I'm in conflict. But if I understand there's only a certain amount that could be done, that could ever be done, and then I am in peace, and maybe this peace could heal the other person as well. At least that person's thoughts could be healed. Because otherwise I get depressed, and that other person, heal yourself, you could be a better person who could heal to an extent another person. Yes, any more questions? Yes.
So this state that you're in nirvana, the stillness, is that the state where you're in constant happiness, or whether there's no suffering, or are you still disturbed sometimes by your inner emotions? Or I get that you're not influenced by outside anymore. But what about your inner emotions and your feelings? That still exist, or are they all gone?
Okay, it's something like this. We always think that the outside world creates this chaos within myself. So we try to correct the outside world so that we can get rid of the chaos which we have created inside. Well, to begin with, it was always about the emotions that you were dealing within yourself and the way of looking at things, the options that you had, the perceptions that you've had, and the way you perceive things becomes a complete different thing after that. You look at a problem in a complete different angle. And because of this change of perception, you have peace within yourself, because you're not trying to gain happiness from the outside world or by the control of emotions within yourself. You understand the emotions. You understand of the craving that you've had towards these emotions. And when you let go of the craving, then you let go of the emotions that disturbs you and makes this chaos within you. So the outside world could throw any problem, still you're relaxed, still you feel the same stillness within. That is because the outside world cannot disturb your emotions, which you have already understood and let go of the craving that you've had towards this. So by getting rid of the craving, understanding the craving, and being away from the craving, you are completely in stillness. And nothing externally or internally cannot disturb you. And then you're in calmness. You're in complete calmness. Okay? Yes.
So I understand that in Buddhism we have to, when we're reflecting on Dhamma, we have to reflect inwards and understand why we feel this way instead of like blaming other people for the way that we feel. But in a situation where if I'm having conflict with someone else and I'm starting to feel frustrated with them, what is some advice that you could give me for when I'm frustrated with someone else? Since I understand, in Dhamma we have to reflect on the inside instead of being frustrated with what the outside world is giving us.
Yes.
I noticed that when I get frustrated with other people, it's hard for me to remain calm and reflect on the Dhamma because now I'm getting frustrated with like not just myself, but I'm also getting frustrated with someone else.
Okay. To answer this question, first of all, you need to discover this basic fundamental thing, which is what makes me frustrated? What creates this anger within myself? To answer that question, when you go down that line of thinking, then you will understand that why am I getting angry and why am I feeling this way is because an opinion or an option that I have is either misused or taken in a completely different sense. So I want to either prove myself or say that I'm right, or I want to get my view across or make that person understand that that person has to be this or feel this or do this according to the wish that I have within myself. So the moment you have this thing within yourself that I need this person to understand me and do things according to my way, wish things according to my way, and go things according to my way, and when that doesn't happen, you feel frustrated and angry within yourself, right? So the basic thing to do here is to try to understand what I'm trying to prove here. What do I really want from this thing, in this situation, and from this person or from this thing? Because the more and more I want this to go my way, and that person has a different opinion, it never happens. Then I become angry. So the first thing is to understand what you really want from the situation. And that's the craving. That's the craving part. And then if you let go of that, you get rid of the anger. Still, you might be able to convince the person, but with much less anger. Okay? Because anger is a complete different thing. And trying to get your view and option to the other person's mind is a complete different thing. Now, you can do it in two ways. The first way, you can do it gently and try to explain this thing to that person. Or you can be frustrated and angry and still try to explain the same thing. So by being angry, it doesn't make any sense. So if you understand how this anger formulates in the first place is because you want so badly that person to appreciate you and do things according to you, view according to your way, perceive things according to your way. You want that, you crave for that. And when we start craving for that, then what happens? Then we become frustrated. We become angry, we become jealous. We have so many different qualities which blooms suddenly within us. And that gives us this burning feeling that we have inside. Because we are so compelled, telling ourselves, no, this person has to respect me and do things exactly the way I wish it to be. That's the craving part coming out. Now we can do the same thing in a complete different way. If you get rid of the craving, you are more patient. You become a person who is more patient. And that patience the other person understands that language much better than the language which we speak with frustration and with anger. Okay? So that's why they say in Dhamma, don't look at the problem from the outside world to solve the problem from the outside world, but you need to solve the problem within yourself. You need to understand why you are angry, why you are frustrated, what are the points you're trying to make clear, what are the options that you're trying to get across, what is your deepest wish and which that person doesn't hear or doesn't do. When you understand this, suddenly this reduces. And then you have another option. Well, you can tell in a different way. And maybe that person understands that language even better. Okay? Yes, friends. Any more questions? Yes.
Thank you very much for sharing the stages of your life. And I was able to follow through the stillness. But when you described the stillness from inside, I felt it really doesn't inspire me. I'm missing some qualities of that stillness. It felt quite, and I think my mind take to the extreme. You know, it almost, it sounds like selfishness because we don't care for others. It's still, and nothing is changing. It felt a little bit boring and this and that. So I miss some, apparently, my mind missed some qualities there. Would you please help to bring that?
Of course, definitely. Thank you for sharing that with us. Because if you had it inside, you would walk out of this door with that question, what was she talking about, this stillness? And isn't it a little bit selfish to feel that way and not do anything for anybody else? Thank you so much for sharing that with us. The stillness, you mentioned something, it's a little bit boring to be still like this. In life, what makes us excited? What makes us excited? We feel excitement to do so many things. Okay? We feel excited when we do so many things. But not everything. Everything doesn't make us excited. What makes us excited? If in general we say that life makes us excited, it's not life that makes us excited. It's the different things that we do in life makes us excited. But if we break this down also, everything that we do does not make us excited. Then only there are only certain things that gets us so excited. And okay, we'll take the best out of this and we'll just take the things that we really, really long to do and makes us really excited to do. What are those things? The things that we think which brings us much joy and much happiness, and the vibes are created. And I can share so much and gain so much. This makes us excited. So, if you talk about, if we tell ourselves what this, if we define what excitement is, it's always about what makes us happy and what makes us joyous and what makes us feel really good. And that brings down to the same point that I was discussing to you about. I was searching for the excitement in life. I wanted this excitement to last. That's what I wanted. I went one step ahead. Normal person would want excitement and that's it. I wanted this excitement to last. Now that's a lot to ask from life, but that's what I wanted. And then that made me search for ways of this excitement to last. First I was thinking the Christmas party and the friends and the home and the whatever, the neighbors, everything was so exciting and maybe that would last. Then that stage went away. Then the next stage of life, maybe the career, the positions, the designations, the money of course, and the things that you can do from this money, maybe that would be exciting. And that would be lasting. And then I discovered, that also has a problem. That is very exciting, But it does not last. This also goes down, and when it goes down, we need to work even more harder to bring it up. And then it lasts for some time. And then it goes down. When it goes down, we need to work even more harder to bring it up again. So this excitement was stretching out to be happiness, and this happiness was not really lasting. That was the problem. And then we discovered that different stages of life brought us different excitements, but there's a problem attached to it. The problem is that it doesn't last, not in the same line, not in the same way. It goes up and down, this continuous up and down process. And after a period of time, you finally realize you don't want this up and down anymore. You want it to just be in one line. You want this happiness to last. And that happiness which lasts is called stillness. Okay? Is it better?
Much better.
Okay. Right. Shall we move on to the meditation? Okay. We'll do a healing meditation. And when we talk, is everybody aware of the methods of meditation, or should I just tell you the basics of meditation and start the basics? The basics, okay. We'll start from the basics. Basics are very good. Now, number one thing is that there are many people who try to meditate and who want to get rid of all the thoughts. Get rid of the thoughts. Some thought comes in, get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. I want to be without thoughts. And then the more you concentrate, the more you try to concentrate on concentration, the worse it gets. Have you had this experience? You're really trying to concentrate, and then you can't concentrate because you're trying to concentrate on concentration. So when you're trying to concentrate on concentration, it never happens. You can't concentrate on concentration. Okay? First, that is the first rule. You need to let go. Stop concentrating, because then you will arrive in concentration. It's a fruit. You know, you water the plant, and when the plant is just budding and it's just starting to grow, do you expect the fruits to come? No. You just keep pouring the water until one day the fruits come. So what you need to do is stop trying to concentrate and trying to get rid of all the thoughts that you have in your mind. Don't do that. What you need to do is something like just focus, just keep your awareness, not even focus, just be aware of your mind and what the mind is doing. That's all what you need to do. Your thoughts will come by, it will stay there for some time, and then you will see that it will just disappear and go away. And then another thought will come. And then it will stay for some time, and then watch it fade away. That's all you need to do. When you do that, you are actually concentrating. What are you concentrating on? Your thoughts. You're automatically concentrating. If you tell yourself, I need to concentrate, I don't need any thoughts. I need to concentrate, I don't need this thought. Then what you're trying to do is get rid of the thoughts and concentrate on getting rid of the thoughts rather than concentrating on your mind. Okay? So the first thing to do is just breathe in and breathe out. When you breathe in, all your system gets the oxygen that it needs, and it purifies from deep within. And when you let go of your breath, when you exhale your breath, then you let go of all the impurities out of your system. And when you do this continuously for a few times, you feel relaxed a bit. And then after that, I will take you through the breathing exercise and then the healing exercise. And then when I tell you, just concentrate on your breath, you can just concentrate on it coming up and going out of your body. And then the thoughts which comes, lasts and just disappear, comes, lasts and then disappears. And then we'll do a healing meditation with the metta meditation for all living beings. Okay? Yes, so let's start meditating. Be seated, legs down, or you can take your legs up. You can sit it in the lotus position, or if you're seated in a chair, sit back and keep your feet firmly in the ground. Firmly in the ground, firmly in the like that. Okay, right. Keep your hands very loose, shoulders, don't tighten your shoulders, just be comfortable. And just listen to my guidance. Open your eyes and look in this direction in front of you and breathe in deeply. Open your eyes and breathe in deeply. Breathe in deeply and exhale fully. Breathe in deeply and exhale fully. Breathe in deeply and exhale fully. Close your eyes. Breathe in gently as you normally would and exhale fully. Be aware of all the sounds which are in this room. Different sounds and different noises. The different sensations that you feel. The different smells. The sensation of this room. The warmth, all the coolness which surrounds this room. Be aware of the sounds in the city, in the neighborhood, and in this room. They are all part of this room. They are part of this environment. Accept it. Let your mind be free from it. All the sounds and all the noises, the different sensations which connects you to this room is all a part of this room and this environment. Accept it as it is. Let your mind be free from it. Whatever belongs to this environment belongs to this environment, and may you be free. Be aware of this gentleness of the breath which flows deep into your body. And with every exhale, you release all the impurities out of your body. For a moment, in this moment, be aware of this environment. All the thoughts running through your mind, different people in your life, different kind of obligations, responsibilities. Things you need to do and the things that you have done, different places, in different environments. All of this belongs to the world which is outside. Let it remain there. In this moment, feel completely relaxed. With this breathing in and gently out. With the sensation of this breath which flows through to you, discover your eyes, discover your ears, nose, tongue, and body. This too is named a part of you. Just like the outside world, this connects to the outside world. The connections that you make from your eyes, the connections that you make from your ears, the connections that you make from your nose, the connections of the tongue, using the entire body, and the connections from the mind. Slowly let go of the outside world and discover the inner world. Sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. Thoughts. From the sensations of these 6 senses, was the sight you? Was this sound you? Was this smell you? Was this taste named as you? Was this body named as you? Who are you? The process in your thoughts, the procession that follows your thoughts from one thought to the next, and from the other thought to the next. Just in this moment, if you let go of the past, and if you let go of the future, moment to moment, stillness. Moment to moment, stillness in your mind. And be aware of this stillness. With the stillness that you feel, let this breathing heal you. Let it heal your mind. Let it heal you. The lust that is created in your mind, let the lust be healed. If there is deception in your mind, let that be healed. If there is distress in your mind, let that be healed. If there is unforgiveness in your mind, let that be healed. If there's hatred in your mind, let that be healed. If there is wanting more and more in your mind, let that be healed. In this moment, be free from the past, be free from the future, be present and aware of this passing moment. Be aware of this passing moment. Just be aware of this passing, present moment. Be healed in this passing, present moment. Stillness in this passing, present moment. And the stillness and the calmness that you feel deep within you, may it spread to the entire world and to all living beings. May they be free from suffering. May they be free from disease. May they feel calm and still and attain enlightenment. May all living beings in the eastern direction, all living beings in the eastern intermediate direction, may all living beings in the southern direction and in the southern intermediate direction, all living beings in the western direction, all living beings in the western intermediate direction, all living beings in the northern direction, and all living beings in the northern intermediate direction, all living beings in the lower directions, and all living beings in the upper direction. May they be free from suffering. May they be free from anxiety. May they be free from fear. May they be free from jealousy. May they find the stillness deep within. May this healing flow to all living beings, and may they be healed. For a moment, in this passing present moment, feel this healing and feel the stillness in your mind. Be aware of your thoughts and be aware of this breathing, gently flowing through your body with each inhale and exhale. The sensations in this room, the warmness or the coolness, that you feel. And know that you are meditating and that you were meditating. When you're ready, take your time and gently open your eyes. So, my friends in Dhamma, thank you for attending this session, and hope that there was something that you could take with you from this Dhamma discussion. And I bid you a very good evening. Teruvan Saranai.